We're doing a makeup tutorial. I mean, it wouldn't be a video without the dog, right? Yes. But anyway, today we're going to be I'm going to be filming a fall makeup tutorial on the look that I'm wearing here. This is one of my favorite go-to fall looks, and it's using my favorite palette at the moment, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. It has some beautiful fall shades, and if you don't have this palette, you don't have to use it. You can use similar shades like the Morphe 350 palette. If you have that, you can get a similar look with that palette. But if you're in the market for a new palette and you love warm shades, this is a great palette. So any products that I've used, I will list in the comments box below. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, let's just jump into the tutorial. Okay, so to start off our look, we're going to start by priming our eyelids. I do this every day because I have very oily eyelids. And I'm going to use a combination of the NYX Proof It eyeshadow base. Rub that in, and then before it dries completely, I'm going to rub in some of this Bare Mineral 5-in-1 primer. This primer alone does not hold my eyeshadow in place. My eyeshadow will still crease, but if I place it over the NYX base, it stays all day and provides just a little added coverage to hide some of the veins on my eyelids. Okay, next up we're going to start with our brow bone highlight, and if you are fair skin, you can use the shade Tempura in the palette for your brow bone highlight. Right now it's just a little too pale for me right now because I have a little bit of Sunless Tanner on, so I'm going to use the shade from the Kat Von D palette, and I'm going to lay this on pretty thick along the brow and then blend it down just slightly. And most people start at the lash line and work up. I would do the opposite because I think it helps with blending. So now we're going to start in the crease, and the first color we're going to put in the crease, actually we're going to do a combination, the burnt orange and raw sienna. Just dip your brush lightly into those two colors and start at the outer corner. We're going to blend our way in. And these shadows are so pigmented and blend very easily. And then we're going to just blend that up into the brow bone highlight. And this, by bringing that brow bone highlight down just a little further, it makes this shade blend easily into it. Okay, next we're going to work our way down just a little bit lower in the crease. We're going to add Real Gar, and this is a bright orange, almost like Bronco orange, if you're a Denver Bronco fan like I am. But you just want to very lightly tap your brush into that color, and we're going to start from the outer corner and work our way in. These shadows are super pigmented, but they blend beautifully. Some people have not liked the Anastasia eyeshadow formula in the past, but I don't know if she changed her formula in this palette or what, but these shadows are awesome. And now we're going to use that same shade, but just work a little bit lower. Take it a little bit onto the lid and into that corner just a little bit. We're going to top it with another shade so it doesn't have to be perfectly blended onto the lid. Okay, so now we're going to stop here and we're going to address now the lash line. Whoops, getting crazy with the camera there, sorry. Now we're going to address the lash line, and then we'll go back to the lid. So if you are not very good at drawing a straight line with your eyeliner, this is a good trick. I like to do the blended eyeliner look, and it's also a lot quicker than trying to get a nice straight line, straight wing. So if you're in a hurry in the morning, this is a great trick to do. And let's be honest, I'm in a hurry almost every morning. So we're going to blend this. This is just my Urban Decay Perversion lash, or Perversion liner. You can use any black liner that you have. I'm going to work one eye at a time. I'm not going to go all the way into the corner. I'm going to take a pencil brush and blend that line out before it dries. These set super fast, so if you're going to blend it out, you got to do it right away. I also like to do this trick when a palette doesn't have a black eyeshadow in it, like the palette we're using. If you want a little darker outer corner and your palette doesn't have a black, or you want to deepen up another color in the palette, this is a great trick. You can lay down a black base first. And then I'm just going to darken up the lash line. So you can see that it's blended out and it's given us good definition along the lash line. Okay, now we're going to go back to our palette and we're going to go into the deepest shade, which is Cypress Umber. And I'm going to first start with a pencil brush, and we're just going to lightly tap this over that liner in the outer corner, and we're going to blend it towards the inner corner just slightly. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly blended. We're going to go over it, but by putting that black base down first, it is giving us a slightly darker brown, and then of course more of a black closer to the lash line. Okay, now to further blend out that brown, I'm going to take, I'm going to go with my, I think this is Sedona lace. It's ripped off. I'll put all the brushes listed below. But I'm going to take, it's a slightly firmer brush than we were using in our crease, and we're going to go in with the red ochre shade on the tip of that brush and go over that brown, kind of the edges of the brown, and work towards the crease. And this is going to give us a wonderful gradient effect from the black to the dark brown to this wonderful red. This color mixed with that real gar to me just speaks fall. I'm so ready for fall. Here in Southern California, we don't really get a fall, but we can pretend. We can fix our pumpkin spice frappuccinos and pretend that it's fall. And you will notice my brushes throughout this video are quite dirty. That's because I'm saving up getting all my brushes nice and dirty so I can do a brush cleaning video for you. So stay tuned, that is coming. I know I hate cleaning brushes, and I know a lot of people do too. So I'm going to show you a very easy way to do that. Okay, now we're going to go back with our brush that had the real gar on it. Before we put any other product, we're just going to blend the edge of that red shadow, the red ochre that we put down. We're going to work our way backwards through our brushes. We're going to go with the brush that we used first in our crease and just blend up towards the brow bone. Okay, so once you're satisfied with that blend and that nice soft edge, making sure you've got that soft edge, we're going to now address the inner corner of the eye here. And for that, I'm going to do kind of a little bit of a trick. This palette is primarily matte. It does have a couple of shimmer shades, and the shimmer shades I think are beautiful on their own, but you can also layer them over one of the matte shadows to kind of create your own unique shade. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to put a little more of the real gar, that bright orange shadow, down first. I'm not going to go all the way into the inner corner. because I don't want my inner tear duct to be orange. But just slightly before the inner corner, we're going to stop there. Okay, now we're going to take that same brush. You can go on the other side of that brush if you want. And we're going to go in with a mixture of Primavera and Vermeer. They're the two kind of shimmery shadows. One's kind of pink and one's gold. We're going to dust or tap off, and then we're going to just lightly tap that over where we just placed that orange. So this gives it just a tiny bit of shimmer, but it's not really glittery. So you could wear this to work. I would totally wear it to the office. If I were still working in an office, this would be what I would wear. I do wear this for my work. This is a look that I think is appropriate. A little more glammed up than some people get during the daytime, but hey, this is a great nighttime look too. So a little more of the Primavera shade on the very inner corner of the eye. And we'll go back with the inner corner after I've done my concealer under my eye, but just going to tap that on, and then again go back with your brush that had the Real Gar shade on it for a crease and just lightly go over it. So just a hint of that shimmer peeks through. Okay, now we're going to address the lower lash line. You can skip the inner rim if you want to. I kind of like to do it, especially if I've done orange and red on the lid, because it kind of gives some separation to that so you don't look like you're sick. You can also use a nude liner in the inner rim here, but if this scares you, you can absolutely skip it. Okay, so now we're going to address the lower lash line, and to do that I'm going to take the other end of this pencil. It's kind of a nice bronzy orange color, coppery color. I'm going to just run that along the outer kind of half of the lower lash line, and this is just going to give me something to have the shadows stick to down here. Okay, and then we're going to top that with a couple shadows. We're going to go back to that Cypress Umber, and I'm just using a flat definer brush like this, and I'm going to go right along the edge of the lash line and just in the very outer V and connect it with that top. Now I wear hard contacts, so I am not going to go too crazy blending out down here, because if I get one little speck of eyeshadow in my eye, it starts watering and we got to take out the contact. Don't want to do that. So if you don't wear contacts, you can just have at it and go crazy. I'm going to use a little bit of Red Ochre and Real Gar on this little brush and just ever so lightly kind of tap and then blend out the edge with my finger and hope that nothing gets in the eye. Okay, so I applied my concealer, my foundation powder. Now we're going to go in with a little bronzer. This is one of my new favorites this year. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have this in the darker shade. It's still not super dark, so even though it is fall, I still feel like a little bit of bronzer helps warm up the face, especially with the orange and red we've got on our eyes. I'm using this on kind of a flat, fluffy brush. This is my favorite way to add a little definition to the face, but very soft contour, so we're not going to do anything too crazy here. You can absolutely skip this step if you want to, but I just think it gives my face just a little more shape. Then I'm going to contour the nose, just a little bit, nothing crazy. I just like to bring a little color to the center of the face and add just a little slimming effect to the nose, but you can skip that. Okay, then next I'm going to go in with a blush. This is a new blush duo from e.l.f. and I just think these colors together scream fall. So one is a little more of a peachy shade, the other a little rosy. I'm gonna just tap my brush into both of them and make sure you tap off the excess. And then I'm going to apply those lightly to the cheeks. And I brush them back. Now, if you're trying to slim your face, you don't want to just put blush right here because that makes the apples of your cheeks stand out. However, if you have a very thin oval face and you want to add just a little plumpness to the cheeks, you can just put your blush more and focus it right here. Obviously, you want to blend it, but I have plenty of cheek mass, so I'm going to blend it into that contour and back just a little bit. And then next I'm going to apply some highlighter. I know it's fall, but I think highlighter is good any time of year. For this, I'm going to use the Makeup Geek Kathleen Lights collaboration. Upside down, I'll show you these colors. When I first saw them, I thought they would be way too dark for me, especially going into fall and winter, but they blend out beautifully. And I'm going to use just this little fan brush. A lot of people see these brushes and say, what on earth are those brushes for? I'm just going to go into the lightest color of the palette, and it just adds just a nice little healthy glow to the skin. And if you have enlarged pores around kind of this center, avoid that area with your highlighter. That's why I kind of keep my highlighter more towards the back side of the cheeks. And then I'm going to take my finger, put a little bit on the bridge of my nose and the Cupid's bow. And then I just like to take my finger, run over the edge of that highlighter to kind of blend it in just a little bit more. All right, and now we're going to add a little bit of inner corner highlight to our eyes. We did this a little earlier, but once you apply concealer, some of it can come off or get rubbed off. I'm just going to take a pencil brush into, I'm going to do a combination again of Vermeer and Primavera, and just tap that in the inner tear duct and then blend it down just a little bit. And these aren't so frosty that, you know, you have to be super careful. So it's kind of nice. It does provide that nice glow there. Okay, and then the last thing is mascara. Now, I always do mascara the very last. Part of the reason is because if I'm in a really big hurry, I can throw my mascara in my purse and do it in the parking lot when I get wherever I'm going. But also because after you've applied concealer and all that stuff, you don't want to, it'll get on your mascara if you've already applied it to the lower lash line. So I'm going to use my new favorite combination of mascara and primer. So this is the L'Oreal Voluminous Base. This one's brand new. I love this stuff. It's at the drugstore, so I think at Walmart I saw it for under $7 versus Origins, which was, I think they're up to almost $18 now. Ooh, I started using that when I think it was $12. So this one almost puts like a powdery finish, so it's easily covered up. You don't have to worry about your black mascara peeking through with this one, and it provides like instant volume when you put, you'll see when we put the mascara over. For me, it cuts down on the number of coats of mascara that you put on top. Yes, I did use the plural coats. depending on how much time I have, you know, could be 2, could be 3. But if you don't have a lot of time, 1 coat over that base and you will have long, voluminous lashes. And this is the CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara, my other favorite one of my new favorite mascaras. And there you go, you can see with 1 coat how much length and volume that added. I'm going to go to the lower lash line. And don't worry, I always get at least 1 or 2 specks of mascara, especially on my lower lash line. If that happens to you, don't worry, let it dry. And then go back with a Q-tip and it will just flake off, but it won't remove your concealer that you worked so hard to apply and get smooth. Okay, now last step, truly the last step after the eyes, and you know, you brushed your teeth and all that, we're gonna apply our lipstick. So today I'm gonna start with my NYX lip liner in Nutmeg. Great one for really year round because I love this color also blended with pink. Like if you have a brighter pink, it'll kind of help tone it down. But I especially love it for fall. And then just blend the edge. And then we're gonna go in with your favorite kind of neutrally brown color. You could do a nude or a peach or bright orange, berry. You could really do anything with this look. I'm gonna use this new Smashbox Always On lipstick, liquid lipstick. Now, it's not the super drying awful one because I can't handle those, but this one has really surprised me. I love it. This color is stepping out, and it is one of only 3 that I've tried, and I've tried a lot, that I can actually wear and not feel like it's sucking the life out of my lips. And I have a lot of texture on my lips. So matte lipsticks, liquid lipsticks aren't the most flattering if you have a lot of texture. Lines, let's call them what they are. But this one, I feel like doesn't overemphasize the lines, and I can wear it comfortably for hours. It stays put. It will transfer a little bit, but hey, I'm okay with that. But you know, as long as in 6 hours I'm not like, oh, holy cow, where did my lipstick go? This is a good one. So, okay, I'm gonna zoom out, finish my hair, and we'll wrap up this video. All right, guys, that wraps up the tutorial. I hope that gave you some inspiration on ways you can incorporate some fall colors into your makeup routine. And if you like this video, would love to have you as a subscriber, and like the video, comment down below on any makeup looks or anything, any questions that you may have, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.